And when all this information comes out about everything that she knew, everything other people know, I promise you on everything, MrBeast is done.
It goes without saying that if you saw the start of MrBeast's downfall, it would probably be one of the saddest things you'd ever witness. After all, MrBeast has done so much for YouTube and beyond. From Team Trees to Team Seas, and from his philanthropy channel to his main content, he's always shown a very generous and kind personality. But imagine if all of this got erased in an instant, and one day the MrBeast channel and brand were no more. Well, what if I told you that the downfall I was talking about could already be happening? Ava Tyson, probably the most controversial name on the internet right now. And if you haven't been living under a rock, you're likely aware of the several allegations Kris has been faced with. If you haven't heard, Kris has been accused of making several disgusting tweets on Twitter, commenting on some very disturbing art, and allegedly interacting inappropriately with multiple minors.
Yesterday, Ava Tyson of the MrBeast crew had a ton of evidence surface about horrible behavior with how they communicated with as well as a past of really disgusting shit. A lot of people drew comparisons to Dr. Disrespect recently being outed for talking inappropriately to a There are tons of screenshots to showcase exactly what was being said to someone who was between 13 and 14 years old at the time, and it's gross. It's completely unacceptable.
Unfortunately, I won't go into more details about this situation's deep inner workings, because it is way too disturbing and inappropriate to discuss here. But feel free to do your own research on the whole situation if you'd like. Shortly after all this info about Kris came out, MrBeast posted a response on Twitter saying, "Over the last few days, I've become aware of the serious allegations of Ava Tyson's behavior online, and I am disgusted and opposed to such unacceptable acts. During that time, I have focused on hiring an independent third party to conduct a thorough investigation to ensure I have all the facts. That said, I've seen enough online and taken immediate action to remove Ava from the company, my channel, and any association with MrBeast. I do not condone or support any of the inappropriate actions. I will allow the independent investigators the necessary time to conduct a comprehensive investigation, and will take any further actions based on their findings." At first, this might seem like a good response to the situation, firing Kris and distancing him from the channel. But in reality, this response has only created more suspicion online. What this response might be hiding could trigger the magnitude 100 earthquake that ends the MrBeast channel for good. It might be a little obvious to those who follow MrBeast on Twitter, but Jimmy doesn't usually speak this way in his tweets. So it's most likely that this was a PR team and not Jimmy himself. Well, that isn't really what sparked suspicion, but what did though was Jimmy making it seem like he had no idea about what Kris had done, and that he needed to hire a third party to investigate further. People are claiming online that Jimmy allegedly knew about this situation all along and was hiding it from the public this entire time, which would be very concerning considering the allegations against Kris involve literal crimes. Now, people aren't just accusing Jimmy without reason. There are multiple pieces of evidence suggesting that this could be true. The first one we'll look at is the poster incident, referring to a part in the video tipping pizza delivery guys $10,000. In the video, you can see a piece of artwork on the wall that was definitely not kid-friendly. This artwork was allegedly bought from one of the shady people Kris was involved with. Also, at the time this video was posted, Kris and Jimmy were living together, and you can clearly see Jimmy looking up at the artwork as well. Unfortunately, if you go to the video on the channel right now, that part has been cut out. So this was enough for some people to claim that Jimmy was in on it. But let's take a step back and assume the best of Jimmy. There is no concrete evidence that Jimmy knew about the origins of this artwork, or that he played a part in buying or displaying it. So I wouldn't jump to conclusions just yet. Another piece of evidence is former MrBeast crew member Jake, who made multiple tweets on the situation, eventually claiming that Jimmy knew, basically saying that Jimmy allegedly knew about what Kris Tyson had done all along. This is more convincing evidence because Jake had been close with the MrBeast team and had spent a lot of time with them. The last piece of evidence I'd like to present is from a former MrBeast employee named Dawson, who makes even more claims than Jake. He claims that not only did MrBeast know, but Kris was just the tip of the iceberg.
Here's a cornfield. I'll explain that tomorrow. I've just been driving by looking to see, is there an FBI raid going on? What's happening? My name's Dawson. I worked at MrBeast from February to May of this year, 2024. Kris is the tip of the iceberg. And when Jake the Viking says MrBeast knew, yeah, MrBeast knew. I heard many times that Ava Tyson is a major liability, but they can't get rid of her because she's already threatened legal action and she knows too much. And when all this information comes out about everything that she knew, everything other people know, I promise you on everything, MrBeast is done. Amazon, If you can get your money back, get your money back.
These are very heavy accusations. If what Dawson says is true, it could mean there's a future where the MrBeast channel is no more. He even suggested that Amazon should get their money back and cut ties with Jimmy, referring to the game show.
So this guy right here who claims to be a former employee is now saying this is only the tip of the iceberg of the crazy things going on at MrBeast Studios. I mean, I gotta be honest with you guys, seeing the downfall of MrBeast would be like the most insane story in YouTube history, and it would be really, really bad for the platform as a whole. And as someone like, this is my job, I'm not thrilled to hear about that, but hey, if there's some sick going on, it's gotta come to light.
You can decide if you believe what Dawson said or not, but either way, this is insane. Currently though, no further evidence has come out directly against MrBeast, and definitely no evidence that would end his channel. For all we know, and all I hope, there is no evidence that could seriously destroy MrBeast. If evidence were to emerge, it would have to be something incredibly bad to actually affect Jimmy, as he is the biggest YouTuber with 300 million subscribers, obviously. Regardless, even if new info doesn't come out, this whole situation has already left a massive skid mark on Jimmy's reputation. If all the allegations were to stop right now, as of the time this video was uploaded, I could see it taking just a couple months of MrBeast uploading for everyone to forget about it. This isn't necessarily good or bad, as it means the platform wasn't negatively affected, but it also means that people probably forgot about huge past mistakes. After all, MrBeast himself has been doing a lot of good for millions of people worldwide, and I don't think he'll stop his philanthropic work even after this whole controversy.
He doesn't really like talking about it, but then we'll drive past like a massive line to a food bank on a Saturday, and he's like, oh yeah, that's my food bank, like we have, like I set this up every weekend. And I'm like, you don't put this on videos at all? And he's like, no.
Remember, all the evidence and claims made in this video are alleged. I don't mean to accuse anyone of anything, just wanted to educate people about this insane controversy. Tell me what you guys think about this in the comment section below.